YouTube says it has had enough of vaccine misinformation on its site.
And false stories from phony sites to run circles around major news outlets.
Many people don't know the difference between something real and something created to deceive them.
Open your eyes.
If you've ever had this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was, then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
A look at your screen. These are two of the photos that the FBI Salt Lake City just released. They say we're asking for the public's help identifying this person of interest in connection with the fatal shooting of Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University. So the FBI just releasing moments ago photos of who they're calling a person of interest in Charlie Kirk's murder. You can see both of those different angles of this person of interest right here. We were hearing initially that the person of interest they were looking for was wearing all black, and now we can see from these photos this person of interest wearing a black hat, a baseball cap, with their eyes shielded with dark sunglasses and dark attire right here. So they're asking for the public's help in identifying this person of interest. They're asking anyone to call 1-800-CALL-FBI.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. As the suspense builds, the FBI has released a photo of the person of interest as the manhunt continues. The suspense is so important into sucking people into the psychosis. But before we get into details here about other narratives that we all have to pay attention to, because this has everything to do with our rights. Our rights are being taken away from us because of events like this. If you're falling into this because you're turning on the media or the alt-right media or whatever other media you consume, pull yourself out of it. Stop being concerned as to whether or not this guy was shot and killed, if it was a false flag and he really was murdered or he wasn't murdered, because the outcome of that is the same. They are going to bring in change from this. And the narrative that's coming with the shooter and transgender ideologies, and of course, him being on the loose for so long and us not being able to apprehend him as fast, and how biometrics would have saved the day, those are things we have to pay attention to because it's going to affect your life every day. They want you emotionally sucked in. They want you thinking about his wife and his kids. That's done by design. We'll never know if he's alive or dead, really, but what we know is that this is a government operation. Very clearly. We have people out there saying it's a false flag. They really killed him. He had turned on Israel. That's fine if you want to believe that. There's others like me who believe when he was rushed into that SUV that he was taken where everybody else goes, to be unaccounted for over in Israel, likely bunking up with Jeffrey Epstein and the other people who they fake kill off so that you emotionally get invested in their psychological operations. Pull yourself out. I understand it's easy to get sucked in. I understand it's easy to want to believe that the stuff you see on the news is real, but that's how they get everybody. Look how people are reacting. Remind yourself of that these are controlled events. Do not worry about if the man was really killed or he wasn't killed. It's not about that. As crazy as that sounds, these are actors who are acting. They are unlikely taking one another out unless that person crosses another, unless there is a bigger goal to achieve. And there is a bigger goal to achieve. These laws and rules are going to bring in, including red flag laws and biometric surveillance. So come with me now. Pull yourself out. Take a deep breath, okay? Let's look at this from a psychological standpoint. They've released the image of the shooter, right? He's got a shirt. We see the American flag on it. Of course we do. He's wearing a shirt with the American flag. When we get a better look at the shirt, we'll see what's engraved inside of that American flag. But read between the lines here. The FBI releases images of person of interest in the shooting. Authorities are asking for the public's help in identifying the person as the manhunt for Kirk's killer continues. A rifle and ammo were found. FBI releases images of person of interest. They announced a $100,000 reward. So they're calling on the public to find this guy. People are going, does anybody know this guy's on the loose? And maybe potentially, which I doubt, but there's always the potential that this guy goes and shoots somebody else, because that would really be the coup de grace, or whatever they call the coup de grace of this, if he goes and shoots somebody else because they didn't apprehend him in time. Because this is about biometric surveillance. So if something happens with this guy, everyone's going to blame the police and say they didn't get him in time. They called in the people to help. Nobody could recognize him because he was in a costume. But you know what to recognize him? Facial recognition, right? And what's that big, beautiful bill all about? The big, beautiful bill that Donald Trump passed and everybody was complaining, oh, what's in the beautiful bill? How much tax money do we have to spend? Nobody's paying attention that the big, beautiful bill was based off of AI surveillance, funding biometric surveillance and AI tech. Trump is all in on AI governance infrastructure. He shows you every day. The Golden Dome he's talking about building. It's not a missile defense system. It's surveillance 24/7, no escape, 1984. And just look at the stuff with Palantir. Palantir workers, former workers condemning the company's work with Trump administration. Trump is in bed with Palantir. Palantir is the enemy of the state. They are the all-seeing eye. They are Big Brother. And you're going to hear more of Palantir in the mainstream as they boost their stock up because they want people to look at Palantir as if it's saving the day. And that's what the conservatives are doing right now, right? How do we know they're doing that? Well, because they've told us that ICE is using Immigration OS by Palantir, an AI system to track immigrants' movements. And every day we're hearing about how immigrants are getting deported, how they're finding immigrants who have already committed crimes, who are illegals, and they're deporting them. Thanks to what? Thanks to tech, thanks to Big Brother, thanks to Palantir. So they're applauding it. Now just imagine we start shifting with this story towards that. We can't find the shooter. Maybe we'll call on Palantir to put that image through their database and bring up the person of interest and who he is. And then they'll be able to go and apprehend him. That's what it's going to lead to. We're going to hear about why it's taking so long. There's two reasons that it's taking so long. One, it builds suspense, which sucks people deeper into the psychosis. Number two, it's giving people this feeling of why haven't they caught him? What is the problem? Can we trust these people in the FBI? These same people, the ones against Trump? Are they the ones who were trying to get him in prison? Maybe we need something faster and quicker, because what if this guy goes and shoots another conservative speaker? Maybe he will. Maybe he has by the time this gets uploaded. Maybe it'll already be news. Think about those things as we move forward. The tech giant Palantir is helping the U.S. government monitor its citizens. It wants to monitor its citizens. So the buildup of suspense right now, if you look up anything, ask Google, ask Brave, ask whatever search engine you're using. Ask them about writing a story or a movie and how important the buildup of suspense is. Buildup of suspense significantly increases reader engagement, right? By creating tension, anxiety, emotional investment, making them eager to discover what happens next. Do you see the response that's going on right now? Do you see it? Do you see how many people are losing their minds over this guy that they've never met because they're in the internet psychosis, the social media psychosis? Some guy they've only heard speak online that they think is their friend because he speaks like they do, it talks like they do, and he's speaking for them, right? They are deep in the psychosis. Do you know how many people have come back to the website since this has happened? Because people are going, I need to find out what's happening because of the suspense of it all. The buildup, who's behind it? Why did it happen? Is it real? Is it not? But most importantly to the deep state, to Big Brother, this buildup of suspense brings people in. It's basic psychology. It's people who write books, who write movies. That's what they do to you when you read a book of fiction or you watch a movie. The more there's a buildup towards that end, that climax, the more engaged you are in the story. So that's why all these headlines are saying things like manhunt underway for gunman who killed Charlie Kirk. Manhunt continues, right? Everybody's looking around going, where is this guy? Oh, and then finally they release an image of him. But before they release an image, they want to remind you of all these other things so they could build this up in your mind, who they're going to present to you as the shooter, because it's very clear. Everybody out there already thinks that the shooter's transgender. Do they not? Well, that's done by design, right? Kirk was answering a question about transgender mass shooters seconds before he was shot. They wanted you to know that right away. The first video I did on this, I played you the news clip. He was talking about, we just got word Charlie Kirk has been shot, they said on Fox News.
We just started getting word just a couple of moments ago that Charlie Kirk has been shot. We have very few details so far coming in on this. We're dependent on witnesses Okay. Utah Valley University, and he was speaking in front of a crowd. And in that moment, and correct me if I'm wrong, he was speaking about obviously trans issues in the country today when a shot or shots rang out. And we can now confirm via Jason Chaffetz, who was at the event at Utah Valley University, that shots rang out as Charlie was talking about transgender mass shootings.
We just got word, oh my goodness, and he was talking on stage, and he was talking about trans, well, who cares about what he was talking about if he was just shot? No, you want everyone to know he was talking about transgender. So that people are automatically in their head, they're saying the shooter's likely transgender. Well, transgender shooters are going after conservatives and kids in church, right? So they wanted you to know that that's what he was discussing, the irony of it all, because it's a scripted story. Then what do they tell you? The breakthrough in the hunt. A college-age suspect. The media releases little info at a time, right? The media this morning starting reporting it's a college-age suspect. Well, yesterday it was an old man, right? People weren't reacting the way you would expect. They were just going, who is this old guy? I didn't cover it when I saw it because I was waiting because they have to cover it so you know where they're going with it. They waited. People looked around. Who is it? Well, we do know he's in college. He's in college, right? Think about this whole setup that they've created over the last decade. It just started a decade ago with Charlie Kirk, the Steven Crowder, these guys who go on college campuses and get in people's faces and debate them. Now, they're not literally in their faces. There's nothing wrong with having a debate. But this is a CIA operation. They've built this whole thing up, and people see it, and then they attend it. Look at the size of the crowds that are going to these things so they could debate these guys. But done by design. So they want you to know it's a college-age kid. Kirk was talking about transgender. And then, of course, the next calling card of the government, they want you to know it was a high-powered rifle that was recovered. Well, I'm shocked. I can't believe it. I thought it was going to be a BB gun. Yeah, they recovered a high-powered rifle. And then what do they tell you next? No, they leaked the story. Can't find the guy yet, but they want to build this suspense up in your mind. Well, the ammunition, this is from the Wall Street Journal, the ammunition in the shooting was engraved with transgender anti-fascist ideologies, right? You got to love how these guys leave their weapon behind, too. Right? I mean, is this classic? You know, I get it. If you get shot and killed, or they supposedly off themselves, they leave their weapon. This guy just dropped his gun on the roof and ran. He didn't think, hey, maybe I need this gun to protect myself or something like that. Maybe I can get rid of the gun so that if they arrest me, they can't prove that I was a shooter because they couldn't find the gun. That's what we always hear about crime shows, right? Oh, we found the guy. He's definitely the guy, but we can't find the weapon. We need that evidence. So he just left the evidence for them, right? And I love this other notion of all these guys who want to go and do these things, leaving calling cards, writing and engrave. Whoever has heard of such a thing? How would you even engrave in a gun? Right? I mean, how do you engrave in it? I mean, that's a lot of work. So they're engraving in the gun, so they want everyone in the media to talk. Of course they are, because it's a government operation. So they want you to know, is he a Democrat or a Republican? Well, they're letting you know. Transgender, okay, we know Democrats. Democrats are violent. We need to get their guns. We need to fight them. This is war. That's the narrative that you're hearing out there. And of course, there's other things that trickle in as we continue to wait in suspense. Not that I'm suspenseful about it, but we know that it's coming because this is how they work. This is when you're not in the matrix, you watch and you know what's coming. You can predict it. It's a predictable system, right? How about guys like this, the quartering, Justice for Charlie Kirk? This is all over Rumble. Rumble, I'm putting some of these videos up on Rumble because I'm trying to infiltrate the hive mind. I'm trying to get in there and get people to start thinking. They don't want it. They want to believe that this is real. They want to believe that the stuff that they're told is real. And that's the problem. They don't want you questioning the news. That's the only reason people like me are silenced. It's it. Am I better than anybody else? It's that mindset of talking about the news being manufactured directly from the Mossad. It's more than Operation Mockingbird. It's the stories themselves. It's easy to get sucked in. You turn these stories on, of course you get sucked in. Oh, he's got a wife and kids. Well, who wouldn't get sucked in? You have to constantly remind yourself, as if you were in, a room with a psychologist or somebody who was trying to brainwash you, right? To stay awake, stay alert. Like, say you got abducted in your room and they're trying to brainwash you. Say, oh, don't fall for it. That's how you have to be 24/7 because the media is constant. They're constantly coming after us. So here's the quartering. Look at these key things that they're putting out there. Mass firings for those who celebrate. Now, for those of you that remember, I don't want to say I told you so, but what I will say is that I did say in 2016, 2017, when I was getting canceled, the beginning days, and I still was able to make new channels and build them out. What did I say? I said, Democrats don't cancel Republicans. Don't do it based on opinions. Don't cancel me. I'm not a Republican. Don't cancel me because you don't like me. Just turn it off. Turn it off. Because the government wants this. They want you to cancel one another's free speech. They want you to cancel one another's right to earn. We all saw it during COVID. You're not vaccinated, you can't have a job. Well, this is what it's gotten to. The Republicans are even more psychotic, or just as much. I guess if we went in a time machine, we'd say, well, it's pretty even, because right now we're not feeling the heat as much from Democrats, right, or liberal, hive minders, just conservative hive minders. Fire people who celebrate Charlie Kirk's behavior. If that doesn't say behavioral control, tell me what does. That's what this is about. Larry Fink, behavioral control. Palantir CEO, Alex Karp. We want to control people's behaviors. What a convenient, it's very convenient that Alex Karp and Palantir not only want to bring in monitoring of every single human being in America, on Earth, really, of course, this is global. They want to bring in monitoring, surveillance, and they want to be able to control your behavior. Well, how are they going to do that? But by punishing you based on your behavior. And look how people are already enforcing it for them. Now the conservatives, under such mind control, are so upset that a guy they never met who was their hero was shot supposedly with no evidence. You don't get to see the biopsy. You just get to see it on a TV screen or someone's cell phone. You have to believe it's real, right? That's like me going to, a set of a movie with my cell phone and filming it, and you not knowing that I'm on a movie set because I'll film it where you don't see the lights and the cameraman, and then blasting that on social media, say, I just saw this in the streets. Somebody shot in the streets. Wouldn't some people question it because they didn't see it on the news? They'd be like, I don't know if that's real. It's not on CNN. It's not on the mainstream news. Who is this guy that's posting this saying it's real? It kind of looks like a movie set. That's exactly what they would do. But because it's on the news, they think it's real. And behavioral control's in full effect. Because mass firings for those who celebrate. Could that be more behavioral control? You celebrate, you say, good, I'm glad he's dead. I mean, how many times in your life before 10 years ago would you have said, I'm good, I'm glad he's dead? I mean, as Christians, you don't like to say stuff like that. But let's be real. I mean, there's definitely been a time where someone who you couldn't stand, who has wronged you, has died, and you're like, good, I don't care. And maybe you thought about it later, you're like, all right, I mean, fine. I don't really wish him dead, but, right? You can't even wish somebody dead. You can't even say, I'm glad he's gone. This guy was trying to take my rights away, I'm glad he's gone, right? You cannot have a difference of opinion in this left-right hive mind. And now, mass firings for those who celebrate. Conservatives are calling for it. Just like I said, the seesaw. First the left canceled the right, now the right canceling the left. And we're all stripping each other of our rights. That's exactly how this game is played and why it's played. And some of the other stuff I posted in the forum, I just want to throw out there to show you how fake this is. Tom McDonald, who is this supposed massive artist. I mean, I've exposed him before. You see all the pictures of him wearing satanic shirts, doing the 666, the pentagrams, Baphomet, even wearing Baphomet shirts. Tom McDonald, the MAGA crowd loves him because he got boosted up on YouTube, pretending to be censored during all the stuff with COVID, and he rapped, and they said, at least there's a rapper, somebody out there speaking what we think, because all they were doing was shoving down the mainstream Hollywood, mainstream music industry down everyone's throat. That was done by design. Oh, here's Tom McDonald, an alternative. I'm sick of seeing Eminem bash Trump. I'm sick of seeing Snoop Dogg bash Trump. Here's Tom McDonald, right? Yeah, here's Tom McDonald, who not only sucks, let's be real. I mean, if you're listening to this garbage, it's embarrassing. But Tom McDonald, less than 24 hours, has a song for Charlie. Wow, he must have stayed up all night. Then had his camera crew come in to film a nice little music video for him. And he says, yesterday, in a violent act of cowardice, an assassin took Charlie Kirk's life. My heart goes out to his wife, his 2 children, and his millions of loyal supporters. All proceeds from this song will be donated. Rest in peace. I'm sure they will. Directly to Israel, right, Tom? Give me an utter break. 24 hours, right? And if you know all this stuff that I've discussed, right? And I've mentioned Wag the Dog so many times, Wag the Dog showing you how they manufacture the news, how they manufacture war, always showing this stuff in movies, so you think that it's never actually happening in reality, right? That's what it's all about. That's how mind control works. Well, what do they show you in Wag the Dog? Well, as soon as they have to build up this character, this hero, they got a song about him, the Shoe Man, bring in Willie Nelson to sing the song. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. And here he is, Tom McDonald, with a song in 24 hours. Incredible. Must be really talented. That's what everyone will say. As if Tom didn't know ahead of time, right? Yeah, Tom's just really talented. He stayed up all night, and he had a production crew ready, and he wanted to get this out today, less than 24 hours later. Sure. I mean, if you were born yesterday, you would believe that. So you have to decide at this point. You have to decide. Do you want to be looked at as somebody who, I'd rather be looked at as, wow, you think everything's fake. Well, let's see. If you believe in all these people controlling all the things that they control, why in the world would you believe that stories like this are real when they're so mainstream and they have such a huge effect on people where you know that things like red flag laws are coming when they tell you that the shooter's trans. And they say, that's it. We need to put red flag laws in. Trans people can't have guns. They're psychopaths. They're mentally ill. It's perfect. It's a perfect storm, and it's a perfect story. And I tip my hat to them. I saw it coming, but I tipped my hat to them. Because they said, let's do all this stuff. We're going to make people trans. We're going to tell them it's good to be trans. We have all the celebrities turn our kids trans, right? And we're going to tell the people out there that are like, what? We're going to tell them that they're crazy. And that's what they did for years. You're crazy to think that they have mental health problems. How dare you? And now they're showing you, oh my gosh, look, all these shooters are trans. And they're going, we told you they were crazy. They got all worked up, giving all the rights to the trans trying to give lap dances to kids in schools. Perfect. So now the conservatives who said they would never be in for Donald Trump and red flag laws when he tried to push them in 2016, what are they saying? They're saying we got to get guns away from trans. It's a perfect storm. Once the red flag law is in place and everyone accepts it, then it's just a matter of, well, who's the president or not? Put Newsom in 2020, I keep saying it, put him in. He'll tell you right now. I mean, he pretty much says it when he speaks. The real mental health people are not trans people. They're perfectly normal. It's conspiracy theorists. People think we could modify the weather, that climate change is a deep state agenda. People who think these shootings are fake. Those people have mental health problems, right? And then he changes the law, and it says people like us can't have guns. And what's the response going to be? Well, people like us are going to go, no, you're not getting our guns. They go, no, it's a federal law now. And they go, we'll take it to the state level. Oh, so we'll have to live in red states, right? Like Florida or Texas. Well, they'll protect us. And then they can hurt us like cattle, which is what they're doing. That's part of what this civil war is all about. It's not about riding down the road in tanks, growing our mustaches out, and grabbing batons or whatever and fighting one another in the street. Sure, there's going to be stories of that. It's about moving us around and hurting us and then putting us in places where we could really be hit with weather modification, right? They get us all down to Florida and Texas, and then hit us with hurricane after hurricane. Nobody will know what's going on, and you can kill us that way, right? Because we have conservative mindset, conservative ideologies. And when they tell you that the red flag laws are going to be used against you, that's the type of thing that will get people to go to red states who have guns. You know what else will be? When they tell you need to get vaccinated again. And the red states say, well, you don't have to do it here. And the blue states say you can't have a job if you live here. This is the overreach we've allowed them to have because of their control of the minds of the masses, and it's all through the news. And these are all actors playing their part. I can't emphasize that enough. I can't emphasize it enough to you. If you're out there and you're going, I don't know, is it real, is it not? I'm getting different opinions from different people. Look, if he's dead or not, does it affect your life? Did you know him personally? No. You knew the image portrayed online of Charlie Kirk, right? I get it. He posts all this stuff about Jesus. You don't think that's to suck you in? You don't think that's to make you go, oh my goodness, right? I even saw on CNN, they were trying to describe Charlie Kirk, right? And they said, an evangelical Christian, Kirk embraced more religious themes in recent years. Well, that's real convenient. And now he's gone. Because the last couple of years, we've seen them emphasize, and put Christianity in the spotlight with Trump yoking them up. We're yoking conservatives up with the Republican Party, right? Pretty incredible. Divine intervention, all these narratives that we've heard. Yeah, you don't think he was acting to pull you in emotionally? Pull yourself out. Whether he's dead or alive, it shouldn't affect you because you don't really know him. Unless you're his wife and he's really dead and you're upset about it. But guess what? It's highly unlikely. Will they kill one of their own? Of course they will. How many times have I discussed Mozart? Nobody knows Mozart was a 33rd degree Mason, one of the most famous musicians. Still, everybody knows it's a household name, Mozart. Beethoven, right? Mozart was whacked because Mozart started giving away the secrets of the secret societies pre-internet. He started speaking against them. He started turning on them. They had to make an example of Mozart. Said, Mozart can't be around no more. Mozart has too much power now and too much influence. We have to get rid of him. That's why you see that famous picture still of the dog following Mozart's casket and no friends attending Mozart's funeral. And they go, that's real sad. Why did nobody attend? Well, I just told you why nobody attended. Because the same people who were his friends are the ones who killed him. Because they were the same members of the same club. And you're not in it. I can promise you that. So if you think for 1 second that it's real, I've already provided things that should make you question it. The shirt going up, the distance, from where the shooter is, the guys behind him who gave hand signals. If you haven't seen my previous videos, go through it. The predictive programming of South Park, him getting jumped and making a big deal about him being on South Park and getting attacked on South Park a couple of weeks ago, right? The connection with South Park and Columbine, how they were in that documentary that everybody saw. It was the first time they were calling for gun control in the NRA, making Charlton Heston look like a schmuck, but Charlton Heston was in on it too, because he's a Mason too. Sorry to burst your bubble, because Charlton Heston was in Moses or whatever else he was in. They're all in on it, folks. Their job is to hurt us and to mentally manipulate us into enslaving ourselves. And that's what we're doing by believing in their story. So pull yourself out. It's easy. I get it. You turn it on somewhere else. He's got a wife. He's got 2 kids. Every one of them saying it. Think about his wife, his 2 kids. How can these people say they're glad he's dead? He's got a wife and 2 kids. How are you going to say this? He got a wife and 2 kids. Oh, yeah. Right. How many serial killers? I mean, didn't the BTK killer, he had a wife and kids, right? I mean, people were calling for the death penalty on him. Everybody was, right? That's deservedly so. I mean, he murdered people, supposedly. I'm sure he was connected to the CIA in some way, right? But now you can't even question anything. You can't say you want someone dead. You can't have an opinion that isn't the opinion of the left or the right. It's 2 opinions. If you have a different one, they want you out because they control both sides. They don't control this side. They don't control me. They don't control any of you. So again, if you're falling for the trap, just remind yourself, would you rather be looked at as crazy for all these people who go, you're saying that it's not real? Because that's how they're going to respond, because that's how they're trained. Tell your friend, it's not real. I don't think it's real. And if it is real, it's part of a plan. Oh, you're a conspiracy. You're crazy. You're losing it, man. Yeah? Would you rather be called crazy and have somebody think you're losing it? Or would you rather be a sucker like the rest of these people? Because that's what they are. They're suckers. Complete suckers who refuse to question what they're seeing in front of them because they don't realize that every single thing that they do has a purpose. They show it to you for a reason. They talk about it for a reason. They're manipulating you 24/7. We'll continue with this psychological operation known as Charlie Kirk's assassination as more becomes available. Hope you enjoyed these videos. Share it with people if you're finding this somewhere other than the website. It's important that people become aware of these things and start thinking. That's what's missing. No one's thinking. And it's because they think when they go to the movies, they're watching fiction. They don't leave the movie going, man, crying about Batman and the Joker or whatever. Maybe they are. I mean, people are so pathetic these days. But they don't leave and they get right back to their life. Oh, okay, I got work in the morning. I'm going to go back to my life. Well, with stuff like this, they need to look at it the same way. Why wouldn't you warp people's perception of reality if you want to manipulate them? Make them think that these things are happening to people who are just like them. And we need to do something about it because he spoke for you. He was a patriot for you. He was a Christian like you. Now you need to call for these trans people that have red flag laws so that eventually we can use them on you. I thank everybody for being here. Hope you're all doing well. God bless you and your families as always.